kindly take your seats. Thank you. Good morning to one and all present here. I, Samiksha Singh, would be your MC and moderator for this session. On behalf of the Old Students Association of St. Joseph's College of Commerce, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to one and all to the seminar on Indian economy, a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed speaker for this session, Mr. C.A. Raghu, Principal, Reverend Dr. Charles Lazaro, S.J., Mr. Brian Delema, OSA Committee Member, faculty, and dear Josephites. Now, let's bow our heads and seek the blessings of the Almighty. Almighty God and Heavenly Father, we thank you immensely for blessing us with this day. Bless our Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Charles Lazaro, S.J., Vice Principals, Heads of the departments, the teaching and non-teaching staff. Guide us as we work together to uphold the motto of our institution, faith and toil. We also pray for our speaker in a special way so that he is able to deliver the information and our students are able to glean it. Before I begin with the introduction of the speaker, I request our principal, Reverend Dr. Charles Lazaro, S.J., to address the gathering. Over to you, Father.
Good morning and welcome to each and every one of you to this important session on Indian economy. And I'm very proud to welcome our own alumnus, Mr. Raghu. A warm welcome to you. And we are looking forward to an interactive session, interactive and enriching session by C.A. Raghu. A warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Father. This seminar aims at understanding how Indian economy is a multi-trillion-dollar opportunity. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our esteemed speaker for this session, Mr. C.A. K. Raghu. Can we please welcome our esteemed speaker with a round of applause? Thank you. Mr. Raghu served as the president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the year 2014-2015. He completed his graduation from St. Joseph's College of Commerce, Bangalore University, and took over as the supreme torchbearer of the Indian accountancy profession. He is the second person from Karnataka to occupy this prestigious position. Mr. C.A. Raghu is an illustrious and versatile professional. He is currently a senior partner at K. Raghu and Company, a leading firm of insights into the profession as a fellow member of the ICAI with more than 30 years of impeccable professional standing. He's a visionary, orator of excellence, and a tech-savvy person. Having an inclination for social service, Mr. Raghu has served as the president of the Rotary Club of Bangalore, Pina, during the year 2002 to 2003, and was awarded the Best President Award for his contribution to the 6th Mega Raipur Foot Camp, where more than 2,000 patients were provided with artificial feet, crutches, and wheelchairs free of cost. Before we begin with the session, we would like to screen a short introductory video of our speaker for the day, Mr. C.A. Raghu. It is absolutely an honor to have you amidst us today, sir. Hearty welcome to you once again. Over to you.
Distinguished Reverend Father Charles, the principal of the most popular college in the city of Bangalore, the St. Joseph's College of Commerce. Friends, I recollect my stint at this college, 1982 to 87. 1982 also, St. Joseph's used to be one of the best commerce colleges, and getting a seat in this reputed commerce college was, a dream for many commerce students across the state of Karnataka. Even to this day, I am so happy that the St. Joseph's College of Commerce continues to be the most popular college. The reason being, we find that many students completing their graduation from this college are extremely successful in various parts of the country. I still remember when we compare the results of the Chartered Accountancy examination, we have the maximum number of students pursuing Chartered Accountancy from this college passing the CA final examination. Not only that, we find that many students of this college are successful entrepreneurs. They've been extremely successful in various aspects of wherever they are, whether they're in government service, whether they're in public service, whether they're professionals, whether they're in business. So my congratulations to all of you for being a part of this great institution. Friends, yes, it has been testing times for all of us. The COVID pandemic has impacted almost all the economies around the world, and India is no exception. Thankfully, Omicron is gone. The second wave was really bad. Third wave was just touch and go, and we were all comfortable, and we are recovering back. And Father Charles told me that today is the third day for all of you in college. I'm sure all of you will be excited to be, coming back to the campus, meeting your friends, meeting your teachers, going around. I still remember when we used to have a period off, we used to go to the brigade road. Even, we used to go around the whole place around such a nice, you can say, location. Even now you can easily go around Brigade Road and come back to the college. So, welcome back to the campus students. And then today I thought I was invited. I would like to thank the president of the Old Students Association and my good friend Mr. Vinay Muttunjaya, who invited me here. We both passed out of the college, and he is a member of the OSA. And when he invited me to participate in this session, I readily accepted the invitation for two reasons. Being a part of alumni of this college, whenever there's an invite, I am very happy to accept it. And I thought it's an opportunity for me to meet the young, talented minds of this particular college. Friends, I would straight away go to my presentation. We'll talk about how the Indian economy is a multi-trillion dollar opportunity economy. I think all of you would agree with me that today the economic story of India is quite exciting. And if you see, the country is moving ahead in its journey from an emerging economy to an economic powerhouse. All of us have been reading in the media, we've been seeing in the various forums as to how India is marching ahead. And in this scenario, it is absolutely essential for us to know that in spite of the pandemic, we have witnessed a very strong growth in the GDP, and India is tagged to be the fastest growing economy in the world. 9.2% growth for year 22-23. That is what has been announced by the Honorable Finance Minister on the 1st of February. So what we are trying to say is that India is on its fast track of growth, fastest growing economy. It's seen a robust recovery, and yes, it's going to become a strong economic powerhouse. And as commerce students, each one of us will play a part of this success story. That is the reason why I've set this context for you, and I'm sure everyone sitting in this auditorium by the end of the session would understand as to how each one of you can play a big role in taking India to the next growth of recovery. Very quick recap, 1990 is when the capitalist boom happened, 2010. 20 years, we saw the economic liberalization. We had the Gulf War, 1990, when India was not doing well. The foreign exchange reserves were precariously low. Our gold was pledged with some other country. And as a result of which, there was a need for giving the push to liberalization, and that is when we had the honorable former Prime Minister of India, Mr. Manmohan Singh, was the finance minister. 1990, and Mr. Narasimha was the Prime Minister of India, a big push was given to liberalization. 1990, those days we never had computers. I still remember, we used to get our results on the telex machines. When I qualified as a chartered accountant in the year 1990, we used to wait for the results on the telex machines to be printed in the newspaper the next day. But today you're able to download your results sitting wherever you are. Wherever you are, you're able to get the results instantaneously. You're able to access your results. Absolutely no computers then. Very few computers. Institutions like HAL, HMT, BL had computers, and we never had an opportunity to work on a computer during those times. And that is when India, Narasimha Rao, the Prime Minister, and Mr. Manmohan Singh, the Finance Minister, gave a big push. We saw that a lot of liberalization was brought in. Today you find a lot of multinational companies operating in the country. If you take Bangalore itself, you have multinational operating in almost all sectors of the economy. And thanks to liberalization, we found that a lot of multinational companies came into India, a lot of foreign investments came into India, and we slowly saw the surge in the foreign exchange reserves of our country. And as a result of which, we saw the feel-good factor. We saw that the economy was bouncing back after the Gulf War, and there's absolute, positiveness around, and the domestic markets flourished. That was 2010. 2010 to present, what really happened, the boom stopped at 2010. And we found that the results stagnated. The results of the various sectors of the economy stagnated. And we found that many sectors of the economy went through challenging times. This is something which, a very interesting slide of how high IMF has, rated India along with other countries. 2022, 8.5% is the growth forecast. China is 5.6. And if you look at the other countries, Japan is 3.2. I think this is something which we should be proud of. So if you see this chart, you realize that India is growing fast, and it's absolutely a delight to see that we are overtaking China and US in the forecast given by the Indian Monetary Fund. Coming to the new economic reforms, which I said, one big change which we saw, I'm sure in your economics you study the agricultural revolution, the green revolution, then you saw the industrial revolution. All of us have seen different ways India progressed those days, 1960, 65. But what all of us saw, I'm sure some of you would also have seen the IT revolution. We found that the IT sector continued to grow, contribute to the growth of the GDP. And Indian firms, companies like Infosys, companies like TCS, Wipro, became global companies respected around the world. And being in a city like Bangalore, all of us have witnessed the boom in the software sector, the boom in the IT sector. We never had any IT companies those days. Those days, Father Charles would agree with me, we had HL, HMT, ITI, BHEL, BL, and all the public sector undertakings used to have their own buses. Each of these public sector undertakings used to carry their employees from different parts of the city to the corporate setups there. But we saw a growth in the IT industry. A lot of IT companies set up shop in Bangalore, and today the contribution of the IT sector, all of you have seen. Many of your friends, relatives, I'm sure, are successfully working in the IT sector. We're contributing so much to the exports of the IT services, and this continues to grow because of the change, embracing due to the new technology that is, being spearheaded by our IT professionals, which I will talk to you later. Then we had the telecommunication revolution. I think we never had cell phones at all. My first cell phone was maybe 97, 96, 97. So, but today, even 8th standard student has got a cell phone. they carry cell phones to school. And thanks to the telecom revolution, there was a disruption in the telecommunication space. And very shortly, the 5G spectrum is coming to India. Of course, in America, it has already been launched. In 2022, the finance minister has announced the need for a 5G spectrum. And what happened to the telecom revolution is that it unleashed a lot of smartphones. Highest smartphone users in the world is in India. And the data plans are very, very affordable. And today it is possible for you to sit at home, you can trade on the stock markets. I think many of you are aware of a company like Zerodha, or more or less all these software employees, all the young professionals are, trading on the Zerodha platform, sitting at home, sitting at the comfort of their offices, are able to trade in securities, trade in stocks. Then you can order for food online. Pandemic gave us an opportunity to see how you're able to order your food from your favorite restaurant using Swiggy and Zomato. Yes, housewives used to pick up their phone and hire for a cab, Ola, Uber. We saw how pharmacy we were able to get our COVID medicines to your doorsteps. During COVID times, all of us, I'm sure in the second wave, it was a very tough time. Even the neighbors were not very keen to meet you or interact with you. And that is when all these apps became very useful. We were able to order medicines, we were able to order food, we were able to hail cabs, we were able to book our, buy Apple, everything was online. And thanks to the telecommunication which we had in India, a lot of things happened on the internet, which was available at a very low cost. And all the lower data plans helped the telecom revolution. And today we found that even the students studying in school, high school, primary, and even colleges switched on to online education, and delivery of content was happening to your homes. So what really happened is that India realized that we're good at telecom, 4G did a good job, and the government has decided, yes, India is going the information technology way, there's a need for us to move to 5G, and very shortly we will have 5G in the current year. Friends, having talked about the digital revolution, I think it's very important for us to understand why digital revolution is important to each one of you. You'll be a part of this revolution. You'll be steering a lot of initiatives in this digital era. As I said today, everything is electronic. You go to the market, you can buy vegetables, buy fruits, you can have a tender coconut, you could have almost everything using your mobile phones. You could just scan your QR code and you're able to, utilize all the services. So as a result of this digital revolution, there's a need for you to understand what are the changes happening around us. We find that a lot of companies today are storing their accounting information on the cloud. Institutions like, companies like ITC, Wipro, traditionally used to have their data in their servers in their corporate headquarters. Today, everything is being shifted to the cloud. That is because they can scale up quickly. The cost of keeping their data on the cloud is much lower, and it is possible for anyone across the organization to access data easily. Right from the managing director to the salesman working in ITC can access data once it is on the cloud. So you need to have the knowledge of cloud technologies. Data mining. Today, the problem is plenty of data. Every organization is having a lot of data. I think as commerce professionals, all of us, once we finish our commerce graduation, whatever you do, whether you get into CA, ICWA, MBA, or you could become, or your MCOM, you could become data mining specialist. You decide which data is relevant, which data is not relevant. And blockchain. Blockchain is something very new. All of us have seen how blockchain has brought about a transformation. Today, cryptocurrencies are being supported by blockchain technology. 6 years back, I had the opportunity of seeing this blockchain technology in New York when I represented India on the International Federation of Accountants. We had a presentation from IBM for half day at their headquarters in New York, where we were able to see how blockchain works. The first sector that will come to India, the blockchain technology will come to the banking sector. What really happens today, you go to the bank, you want to draw money, you give your check, you go to the next counter to get it approved. In a blockchain environment, everything happens seamlessly. I'm sure this technology is something relevant to each one of us sitting here, because blockchain would change the way transactions would happen. And you as commerce professionals should understand how blockchain works. So cryptocurrencies currently are being used, are being operated on the blockchain technology. And this is something which is very important and critical for all of you to understand how blockchain would bring about a change in the way transactions commercial transactions to take place. What are the trends, recent trends? How the government has leveraged on the digital initiatives. Today we have paperless banking. We find that if you go to rural India, you find ATMs, you find mobile banking, internet banking happening. Today, Aadhaar data is being used extensively for all validation, whether you want to apply for a gas connection, whether you want to apply for a demat account, Aadhaar, or whether you want to buy a car, Aadhaar is required. And government has quickly adapted to technology. This is something which I would like to give credit to the government. They saw to it the digital revolution that was sweeping across the country. They said, yes, we should take advantage of it. And all of you have seen the vaccination program, both the, what you can say, the vaccinations which was happened twice, how very nicely it was captured on the COVID portal. You had to just give your Aadhaar, go to a vaccination center, and the date on which you are vaccinated, you were able to download your vaccination certificates, show it in the malls or show it in the in the airports. So you can understand how government has adapted to technology, and I can say Aadhaar has been a big boon, and that enabled the government to use technology to its advantage. Contactless payments, which I just told you how ease at which you are able to make payments. Gone are the days where you pull out 10 rupee note to pay for something. Everything is contactless, and everyone wants to use this. And one important thing is that the ease at which even the hawkers and traders have started accepting something fabulous. Even if you go to a person sitting on the road, you find that they are having a QR code. Mobile banking, as I said, it is possible for you to transact sitting here. You want to transfer 1,000 rupees to a friend, you're able to do it through your mobile banking. UPI has been a big success in our country, and today, whether you take any of the UPI that is launched by the Reserve Bank of India has been a big success. Biometric authentication to ensure the security of transactions is another big new area, and you could specialize. Today, biometric is very important for every in any security feature. If you go to the airport, they do a biometric. They just scan your face, just check everything is proper. So what has happened is that we have seen a lot of reforms taking place. The government of India has been proactive. They came out with Make in India. They encouraged entrepreneurs to have their own manufacturing companies. They said, you should manufacture in India. We'll provide you with all the support, infrastructure. They came out with smart cities. Not very difficult in a country like India. 100 smart cities were planned, and different cities are at a different phase of implementation. The benefits of these smart cities would come maybe in the next 5 to 6 years. Digital India, which I already talked about, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, where insurance was provided to a lot of rural population in the country, and very quickly we saw the government embracing technology. Similarly, we saw a lot of foreign businesses entering India through their subsidiaries, branch offices, project offices, and joint ventures, and as a result of which a lot of foreign exchange started flowing into the country. So we also saw a lot of reforms. Like we had a lot of tax reforms. The Companies Amendment Act 2013 was brought in. We saw the GST, which was implemented on the 1st of July 2017. GST is one big indirect tax reform that has happened over the last maybe 4 decades. There's not much changes that has taken to indirect taxes. Today, 1,41,000 crores is the collection from GST. The finance minister in the budget presentation made a statement. The collections for GST in the month of January is 1,41,000 crores. And today, GST is so simple. You can file your GST returns online on the GST portal, and every business entity is supposed to report its revenue. That is its sales. The reason why I said that all these reforms are important is that tomorrow when you get into organizations, you might be the CEO of a company, you might be the CFO of a company, you might be heading the accounts team, you might be heading the finance team. You should know how exactly all the GST returns have to be filed. You need to understand the GST law. You need to understand the income tax law. Even today, filing of income tax returns, as you all know, last 8 years has become very, very simple and easy. A lot of information is auto-populated. So it is important for us to see how these changes would impact us in the course of our career. Demonetization, all of us saw one stroke how the currency had to be became useless, and how the government introduced a new currency. It created a lot of problems for the common man. But yes, demonetization was a step to remove the black money from the economy, and as a result of which we saw that slowly the government started encouraging people to spend in in the proper manner. Mobile banking, virtual banking is already there, and globalization became the buzzword. Friends, quick look at what happened in the union budget recently, because union budget is one document that is presented to the both the houses of the parliament, and I request each one of you as students, whenever there's a budget presentation, please make it a point to listen to the speech of the finance minister, because you as commerce students, everyone around you would ask you what are the announcements in the budget, and I find that many students don't listen to the budget. I request each one of you to make some time and listen to the budget every year. This budget, we have seen that the government has generally they give some enhanced deduction, standard deduction, they give you additional tax relief, but this time the government didn't go for a populist budget or a big bang budget, they went for a growth oriented budget. They decided to spend a lot of money on infrastructure, they wanted to create a lot of jobs. So if you see, they decided to spend almost from 5.54 lakh crores to 7.5 lakh crores, as a result of which the effective capex for the year 22-23 is anticipated to be 10.7 lakh crores. This is the kind of infrastructure that will be created. A lot of jobs will be created, bridges, roads, trains. A lot of initiatives have been taken by the government under this Gati Shakti Yojana, which I'll be talking about later. 80 lakh new houses will be constructed. The cement industry will do well. The steel industry will do well. Anything around the infrastructure space, because almost 80 lakh beneficiaries will be brought, 48,000 crores have been allocated. And today the government is keen to support digitalization and fintech. They're coming out with a digital university. So a student who's in any part of the country can register at the digital university and pursue a course in MCOM or BCom or MBA. It's possible for them to have a degree sitting in a village. They could have access to the best of education because content would be delivered online. If you see the fintech space is another space each one of you should be aware. Financial services and technology matching are getting together. A lot of opportunities for commerce professionals in the fintech space. Today there are a lot of fintech companies in India, and Bangalore is the hub for fintech. Fintech is another area where there's a lot of opportunities for each of you. Friends, what is really happening is that the current budget would give a boost to the economic growth of the country. Another important thing is that many small and medium enterprises, if you go around Pina, Bomasandra industrial area, you see how many industrial units have closed down because of the pandemic. During the pandemic, many sectors of the economy did badly. The tourism sector, the hospitality sector, the taxi drivers, all of you have seen how many hotels were closed down. The biggest to be hit were the small and medium enterprises, and as a result of which the government said we will support you, and they've increased the support from 50,000 to 5 lakh crores. So, and one thing which the government has decided is that they would like to see that all sectors of the economy, a lot of capital expenditure would happen, and this is bringing in a lot of optimism in the budget. Coming to the unemployment, I think the unemployment has been increasing nearly 19% within a month, reaching to 26% unemployment across the country. This is as per the CMI data, Center for Monitoring the Indian Economy, and 140 million have lost their jobs. I think all of you would agree with me. Many people known to us lost jobs because of the pandemic, and as a result of which the income of the household dropped by 45%. In addition to expenditure on COVID, people had to face the brunt of many members of the family losing jobs, as a result of which we found that the jobs came down. So the Honorable Prime Minister had set a target, 2024-25, India should become a 5 trillion economy. The question is whether we'll be able to achieve it. Now, going by the figures, they say that it is difficult. The EY India estimate says we'll have to wait till 29-30 to achieve the 5 trillion economy which the Prime Minister is planning. But nevertheless, on the optimistic side, the GDP growth is good compared to the earlier years, and if we are able to reach the 5 trillion mark by 2027-28, I think we should be very fortunate, but 2029-30 would be a comfortable figure. This is the chart. Friends, one important thing you need to keep in mind is that, as I said in the last slide, if you see the hospitality, tourism, aviation, travel, construction, real estate did get affected. But online education, online banking, a lot of things on the online space even shopping online became a big success through the pandemic. So this is the kind of growth what we saw. 60% of the digital payments increased with a value of about $300 billion. 44 crore Jan Dhan accounts. Indian ease of doing business rank jumped from 77 to 63. Then there was a 95% reduction in mobile data cost and 50 million GST filings were done in the year. This is something I can say very, very good. And as I said, the overall business confidence today is low. I think each one of us have a role to play. Tomorrow, all of you complete your graduation, you'll get into a professional course, you'll become a chartered accountant, you'll become a company secretary, you'll become an entrepreneur. You will have a role to play in kick-starting the economy, you'll have a role to play in the Atmanirbhar scheme of the government as to how we could make India on the fast track of prosperity. So, because the government wants to make it India a self-reliant India and a self-sufficient India, and what is very important for all of you to understand is that today we are operating in a global scenario. It is not necessary for you to look for a job in India. Many students are going abroad today, not only in the medical field, in the engineering field, even in the commerce stream. There are plenty of opportunities for all of you. If you go to the Gulf region, if you go to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Kuwait, Doha, so many opportunities for you as a commerce graduate. Even if you're a commerce graduate, there's plenty of job opportunities. And the kind of pay packages, you'll be shocked and surprised, it's excellent. 3 to 4 times that of what you can earn in India. A chartered accountant, if he earns about 75,000 rupees in India a month, he can earn about 3 lakh rupees in the Gulf region. And there are more than 20,000 chartered accountants working in the Gulf region. And we find that not only chartered accountants, even a commerce professional can, get a good job in the Gulf region. And they've introduced VAT, and corporate tax also is being introduced shortly. As a result of which commerce professionals will be in great demand. In case you're looking at going to US, America, yes, plenty of opportunities in America. And many commerce professionals have an opportunity to go to America by taking many options are there, many degrees are there. You could pick up a career for yourself in America. Australia, yes, plenty of opportunities in Australia. Sydney, Melbourne, you talk about Brisbane, a lot of opportunities in the banking, insurance and pension space. Commerce graduates who have just completed graduation from India are settled in very good companies in Australia. The only thing you need to have a permanent residency. Africa, you might wonder whether Africa is a good place for commerce professionals. Yes. You go to Nigeria, you go to Tanzania, you go to Ghana, you go to any of these places, Kenya, plenty of commerce professionals from India are working there in a lot of corporates in Africa. And today, many companies from India are having their offices in Africa, and if you're working in these companies, they'll debut you there. So friends, what I mean to say is that today, for commerce professional students like you, it's just not Bangalore, it's just not India. You can decide whichever part of the country you want to go, you could go. The opportunities for all of you is huge. So as I said, all the reforms which the government is planning would help us to move forward, whether within the country or outside the country. This is what I said. Roadways, government is planning to construct a lot of new highways, 22,000 kilometers. Transport, they want to introduce more than 200 trains, high-speed trains would be introduced in the railway sector. And renewable energy is something which the government is planning. 200 new airports and heliports, and transmission network 4,54,200 kilometers. I think all this shows that infrastructure development is given a big push way forward. Friends, yes, we are poised to overtake China in terms of the annual pace of economic expansion. We saw the chart, and I'm sure way forward, once the government creates the right infrastructure, more and more investments would come into India. More and more companies would like to manufacture the products in India. So, as I said, being a part of this digital economy, how each one of us, how online education has transformed, how online banking has changed, how each one of us can benefit out of the digital economy. Today, the businesses, the way it is being done has changed. We are seeing what is known as the new e-commerce revolution that is taking place. Even a small showrooms dealing in silk sarees and having an online presence. We have a lot of young professionals having startups and having an online presence and doing well. So this is what I was talking about, the digital university. I think Father would agree with me. This is a very good concept the government has announced in the budget, and a hub-spoke model. And 23 tele-mental health centers being established, 75 digital banking units. And it's very important for you to know that because of COVID, there's been a lot of mental stress in many families, and it's a good step that they're setting up this tele-mental health care centers with demands as the nodal center. The last point which I would like to talk about is the digital rupee, which the Reserve Bank of India is coming out shortly. Digital rupee is nothing but like a paper currency, only thing it will be in digital form. The difference between cryptocurrency and digital rupee is that the digital rupee will be issued by the central bank of the country. It will be backed, for example, the digital rupee that will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India would be backed by gold reserves. It will be backed by sovereign bonds. Whereas cryptocurrency, we do not know who's issuing it, whether it is backed by any gold or any sovereign bonds. That is the reason why the government is still not, you can say, legalized crypto in our country. Even though a lot of youngsters, a lot of professionals are dealing in cryptocurrency. We find that they're making a lot of money, but it's extremely unsafe for you to deal in crypto. That is the reason why the government is very keen not to legalize crypto. But they said, you're making profits, we will tax the profits. Now they've said in the budget, whatever profits you earn on dealing in cryptocurrency, on the profit, 30% of that you'll have to pay taxes. And they have told 1% TDS will be deducted. And if you're gifting cryptocurrency, let us say to your friend, the person who is receiving it will be taxed. So what the government has tried to say, even though cryptocurrency is not legal, we'll start taxing you. Nevertheless, the blockchain and the cryptocurrency council that has been set up a few years back is in dialogue with the government to see that cryptocurrency is legalized in our country. I think all of you would have seen in the media, El Salvador is the only country where cryptocurrency is legal. That has got the bank of the government. No other country, whether it's America, Australia, is having cryptocurrency is legal, because we do not know who's issuing this cryptocurrency, whether it is backed by any assets. We do not know whether it is assisting terrorist funding, whether it's assisting drug trafficking. The government is extremely worried about this, and they are taking the help of experts to understand whether cryptocurrency is required for our country or not. I think all these are emerging things you as commerce professionals should know. Someone asks you, what is crypto? I'm sure you're from the commerce stream. Your mother might ask you, what is this cryptocurrency? Can you explain to me? You should be in a position to tell them the facts about crypto. And it's absolutely essential for you to know that the government is keen, not very keen to legalize crypto, but nevertheless its hands are tied because many people in India are dealing in cryptocurrency. And that is the reason why they're called as virtual digital assets. That is how they've said in the budget. We need to see way forward what would happen to crypto, whether it will continue, whether it will be banned, whether people will be permitted to have virtual digital assets. It's something like having gold or real estate or shares. VDA, that is, having cryptocurrency would be something similar to that. But we need to see how the government would plan to regulate this. This I would not talk about much because blockchain is something each one of you should specialize. Friends, just doing your BCom or a CA would not be sufficient. You need to have additional skill sets. Today what is happening is, like in the medical profession, even in our profession, the commerce field, a lot of specialization is coming. In fact, I'm very happy of seeing the syllabus of your college. A lot of specializations are there. Forensic is a new area. If you are an expert, a forensic expert, just with your BCom degree with a forensic course, you can get a good job for yourself in UK, United Kingdom. United Kingdom has got a huge demand for forensic experts. If you have the knowledge of IFRS, International Financial Reporting Standard, all of you know what IFRS is, where the financial statements of any company is prepared using one set of standards. It is possible for you to get, if you're an IFRS, specialized in IFRS, you can get a job anywhere, Singapore. You name the country, you can get a job. So when IFRS is part of your curriculum, my request to each one of you is, why don't you become a specialist in IFRS? Just with your degree, if you're a CA or an MBA, with an IFRS specialization, you can do well. Valuation is another area where you can specialize. Investment advisory, another good area for you to specialize. You can talk about insolvency. The government in the banking sector wants to clean up their balance sheet. All their NP accounts, they want to see that insolvency professionals are set up. You could specialize in insolvency. So there are plenty of areas you can specialize in blockchain, you can specialize in robotic process automation, you can specialize in cloud computing, you could specialize in artificial intelligence, data, big data analytical specialist you could become. So a lot of openings are there for each one of you, and it is for you to decide. Just a BCom degree would not help you. Let me be very frank about it. When students come to our office for jobs, we look at them, what are the additional skill sets they have. So it's for you to decide right now what you want to become, because if you are having some extra knowledge, you can easily get a job. When, let us say, an interviewer is interviewing 4 candidates and you say you have the knowledge of forensic, the chances of you getting picked up is very high. If you say that you have the knowledge of blockchain, the chances of you getting selected is very high. So why I'm trying to tell you all this, friends, is that we need to understand what is happening around us, what is happening around the globe, what is the thinking of the government, what are the new developments that will impact each one of you. This entire session is to sensitize you, to make you understand what would happen to you 1 year down the lane, 2 years down the lane, 3 years down the lane, 5 years down the lane, 10 years down the lane. You need to plan for it right from today. Yes, I'm sure I've also been a student of this college. I've also listened to a lot of guest lectures like this. But some takeaways for you in this session is that you need to be alert as to developments that is taking place around you. So this is cloud computing, which I already said, data is moving to the cloud. And if you're a cloud computing specialist, plenty of opportunities for you within India and outside India. And big data, as I said, if you're a special, big data analytics is gaining a lot of importance. A lot of companies have started using analytics to reduce costs. Great opportunity for all of you to specialize. Robotic process automation, simple tasks like punching of sales invoices, bank reconciliation, everything is automated through RPA. And RPA is driving a lot of new careers globally. Technology consulting. Today the big problem is cyber attacks. I think all of you know what is phishing. You get a mail from some anonymous, you have won an award, click on this link and you click the link, it'll take you to another website, it'll ask you for your bank details. And if you are, not that smart enough, you might be, you might get tricked by the cyber criminals. So cyber attacks is very common. Today a lot of transactions happening on the internet. That is the reason why people say don't keep your passwords on your mobile phone. I think all of you have seen about 10 days back how a couple was, made to stop on the nice road, and then they were asked to transfer the money from their online banking accounts to, the person who stopped them, made them transfer all the money from their online bank accounts to his account. So you should be very careful how to operate your online banking accounts, how to store your passwords, because today we find the cyber attacks are increasing with a lot of transactions happening on the internet, whether buying of shares, whether buying of insurance policies, whether buying of commodities. A lot of transactions, cyber attacks are possible. And if you are good at this, you can provide cyber risk services, cyber strategy and management, cyber analytics. I think cyber fraud is another area of specialization, because companies want to detect cyber frauds. If a cyber fraud has taken place, you should be in a position to help the company to identify the cyber criminal. So this is another area of specialization for the commerce professionals. Startup ecosystem, I think this is something more than 50,000 startups have been registered by the DP, the Department of Public Enterprise in India. And third largest ecosystem is in India. And we find that startups would continue to stay. And the question is, you might ask me whether it's a good idea to get into a startup. Yes, it's a good idea, but nevertheless, stability of a job might not be there. They might not be able to pay you a salary maybe after 2 or 3 years. You need to take a call. Because the moment you finish your BCom, a lot of startups will say, we want to appoint you as accountants, or if you finish your CA, a lot of startups would approach you. So be careful. And today we have seen unicorns, how many unicorns have come up. Valuation is, more than 1 billion. One unicorn means when the valuation of the company is more than 1 billion. We have the fastest startup ecosystem with 70 unicorn startups, and 40 startups have entered the Unicorn Club in 2021. And these are some of the startups that have entered this year: BharatPay, Cred, Meesho, PharmEasy, ShareChat, Vedantu. All these show that valuation of the startups are mind-blowing. And government is planning to support startups. They want to give a lot of tax benefits. income tax exemptions, incubation facilities. All commerce colleges today, will think of setting up incubation facility for you. And then Startup India Fund Scheme is also there to support you. So this is the kind of startup policy the government has given. You should just go on the web and see. So tomorrow, who knows, you might get into develop it. 2 or 3 of you might join together and have a startup, and you might have a brilliant idea and it might do well. So startup is a great area for you to focus on. And if you want to work in a startup also, it's an exciting place. Friends, I can only say that way forward is exciting for all of you. Only thing is that you need to have good business acumen skills. You need to embrace technology. Very, very important. You can't say, no, I'm not keen to embrace technology. Yes, you all belong to the digital age. I'm sure you'll do that. You need to have the knowledge of laws. Whatever that might be the transformation that is taking place around us, your strength is your subject. If you're doing corporate law, studying corporate law, your knowledge of corporate law should be good. If you're studying Income Tax Act, your knowledge about the Income Tax Act should be good. If you're studying GST, your knowledge of the GST Act should be good. Every legislation what you study in your 3-year program in BCom is very, very important. Please ensure that when you are studying any legislation, whether it's the Companies Act, whether it's Income Tax Act, whether it's GST Act, whether it's the Foreign Exchange Management Act, whether it's the Money Laundering Act, you need to have the knowledge of the law. Only then you'll be able to survive. Without the knowledge of the law, just with a very, very generic knowledge would not help you. You should have an innovative mindset. Friends, what is very important is that employers look at your innovativeness. In addition to being humble, in addition to being, hardworking, these are all the basic qualities that are required for you to be successful. You need to be innovative in your thinking. How can you bring about a change to the existing process in the organization? And you need to have leadership skills. Very, very important. Good communication skills, social skills. All these are very important for you to be successful. Friends, everyone in this hall would like to be successful in life. You want to be a successful businessman, you want to be a successful professional, you want to be a successful, useful to society. So for you to be successful, you need to have a lot of good qualities. You need to be hardworking, you need to be simple, you need to be humble, you need to be committed, you need to be passionate. In addition to all that, you need to have all this business acumen should be there. You need to have digital skills. You need to have the knowledge of laws. If you need to be innovative in your mindset, you should have leadership skills. If you have all this built in you, there is no reason anyone should stop you. You'll be successful. And I'm sure, friends, everyone sitting in this hall would be very successful in your career, in your, way forward initiatives. I wish good luck to each one of you, and I'll be very happy to take any questions. Thank you very much. Give your name and the class in which you are studying.
Hello sir, this is Pritesh.
You will pull your mask down.
This is Pritesh from 3BComC. So I would like to ask you a question regarding the Indian digital currency. What are your more insights and how it's going to take it forward? Like, it's nothing, like, as of now, there's no strong background, and as a public and a general thing, we have not got much of information towards it. So, in that, if you could post some insights on how it's going to...
Are you dealing in crypto?
Not yet,
Okay.
but yeah.
Okay, I think as I told you, the digital currency will be introduced by the Reserve Bank of India. As you know, the Reserve Bank of India is the authority. It's the authority to issue currency. Like for example, today we have paper currency, right? And the paper currency, the government when it prints currency notes, it will ensure it will have gold reserves backing that currency. Similar to that, they will come out with digital currency. They'll be using the blockchain technology, and every unit of the currency will be numbered, and it's possible for you to carry out all your payments using digital currency way forward. But one thing, how digital rupee is different from crypto is that digital rupee is backed by the central bank, that is the Reserve Bank. So there's no way you can lose money. Whereas crypto, we do not know who is issuing it. We do not know whether it's backed by any reserves, and we do not know which country it is coming. So it's not safe to go for crypto, but yes, digital rupee is fine. But yes, you can't make profit in digital rupee. You can't trade in digital rupee because crypto and digital is two different things.
So it won't be fluctuating as...
No, digital rupee would not be fluctuating. Digital rupee would be like a similar currency note what you have in your pocket. Instead of having it in the form of a note, paper note, you will have it in the form of a digital, it's like having the money in your bank, something very similar to that. Only thing, you will have a blockchain card which you can use it to make the transactions.
Right, so that's what. So the thing was, crypto and the Indian rupee is a whole different thing. I'm just aware about it, but the thing, that's what, the Indian towards how, like I'm towards the supporting of the RBI launching it out, and that gives a great support.
The best thing for you is to complete your degree, wait for the government to come out with these regulations, and then start thinking deeply about it. Right now, this knowledge is sufficient.
Thank you.
So your name?
Good morning, sir. I am Pratik Shukla, from first year. So I have two questions. First, regarding the development of economy. So, how privatizations will help to normal people to take service, as we have seen railway is privatized. And second question is how UPI service earn benefit by simply just transferring from money from one person to other person.
See, privatization is very important because in addition to government also creating assets, creating employment, private sector also plays a very big role. And that is the reason the government has a disinvestment target every year. Recently, you have seen how Air India, which was managed by the government, went into a lot of losses. And every budget, the finance minister had to earmark money to keep the airline afloat. So what they did, they disinvested, they gave it to Tata. And one thing about what Tata has done, they have appointed a Turkish CEO. This is one thing which all of you should keep in mind. Today, a company like Tata, which is a homegrown company, which is from India, has taken a CEO from Turkish CEO to run the airline. So today, people are open to take talent around the world. If you're good at something, whether you're in Nigeria, whether you're in Turkey, they don't mind taking it. So what would happen is, once privatization happens, efficiencies would be better, and the companies could do better. And even LIC, they're planning to privatize. I think all of you are aware they're coming out with an IPO. So privatization would continue, and private investments would come into these entities, and I'm sure that will create a lot of jobs and greater efficiency for these organizations. As far as UPI is concerned, UPI is a success. I think India is one country which can proudly say that UPI is a success, and this will multiply in geometric proportion, and I'm sure everyone will get integrated to this. Even if you go to the smallest of the smallest villages, UPI will be used.
My question is, UPI is used, but how the company like Google Pay, PhonePe, how they are earning profit just by transferring money from one?
You are right. In fact, if you see the valuations of this company, Paytm valuations are mind-blowing, and you see what is the value of Paytm today. Valuations are very, very abnormal. The government is stepping in. They know that the valuations, what these companies have stated in the market is not correct. Way forward, there will be more regulation. An expert committee has been set up to look into all this. But yes, you as an investor should be cautious. It says, in commerce, the buyer beware. Let the buyer be aware. So like that, you need to decide whether you want to invest in such companies and lose your money. So you need to be careful as an investor before you invest in such companies.
Thank you, sir.
Audience, please maintain decorum. We have room for one more question.
Good morning, sir. First of all, thank you for the session. Definitely after your session, everyone here will be successful in future.
Your good name, sir?
Shantraj. Shantraj, I'm from 2MCom regular. My question is that you told completely about the digitalization, like how the paperless, like contactless transaction or paperless transaction. But in society, there is another part where this digital, the word digital is very new to them. How important it is for them to educate them
It's
in the development.
it's absolutely important. In fact, the government through the nationalized banks has earmarked a lot of funds for financial literacy. The banks are supposed to go to each and every nook and corner of the country to educate people about how to transact on the internet, how to do mobile banking, how to do ATM banking. Financial literacy continues to happen, but today the younger generation, if you go to rural India, you will be shocked and surprised that as smart as you. The younger generation in rural India is as smart as you. You go to any place, I'm sure all of you would have seen, we think that we are in Bangalore, we are updated. No, they are as equally updated as we are. Things will happen, things will change. As far as the seniors is concerned, financial literacy programs will help them to change, but yes, it will take time. It will take a lot of time.
Yeah, thank you. And one more thing, and you told for the youths here, you do profession courses and other courses, and you get job in UK, US, and you have a lot of demand. If everyone goes there, what is the like economic development we have here?
I am not suggesting everyone to go. I still remember when I came for my admission to this college, 82, Reverend Father Rebello was there, and he asked me, after your BCom, what do you plan to do? Do you plan to go abroad? That was a question he asked me, Rebello. I told him, no, Father, I don't want to go abroad. I want to become a chartered accountant. I was very clear in my mind that I want to become a chartered accountant, I want to be in India, and I told the principal then 1982 that I don't want to go abroad. I was very clear in my mind. It's for you to decide. Not everyone is same, right? Your friend sitting next to you might be keen to go abroad. So,
Yeah, because as soon as you told, like many started browsing about the education and the profession in abroad. So I was asking, if everyone goes there, who will be here and who will develop the country?
yeah, I agree with you. Not everyone should not go.
Everyone shouldn't go, yeah. That's what you want.
But
Good morning, sir. My name is Kushal. I'm from BBA, first year. So the entire concept of cryptocurrency right now, what it is entirely on decentralization and everything. So that's why I believe it has gained so much popularity, because there's not one body behind it. So I'm unable to grasp why there is the needing of a digital rupee in a cryptocurrency or in a blockchain. And why can't it just be the normal rupee that we have right now? What's the biggest difference why we are even implementing this?
yeah, see, the digital rupee is another mode of currency. It's for ease of use. The government is keen to introduce this so that they want to remove the black money from the system. That is the idea of the government. They're encouraging people to use, what you can say, banking channels. In addition to the banking channels, they want to introduce currency to the digital rupee. That is the idea. They want to see that the whole black money that is there in the system is reduces or it's comes to nil. So they want to introduce the digital rupee, so more and more people start getting used to it, and slowly you will start making your payments using the digital rupee.
Okay, so in that case, this is what comes to my mind. What happens is currently with blockchain technology, you are able to track every single transaction. It's very trackable. It's anybody can access it.
Very true.
Right. So the corruption part, I totally agree with it, because if everything is seen, then it's very easy to track down who's doing what. But at the same time, what about the question of privacy? And will cryptocurrency even be like how it is right now, the Indian rupee? Will it be transactable in online metaverses and all those?
No, in fact, you'll be surprised to know I'm a practicing chartered accountant. I have my own firm. When my clients come to file their tax returns, I do ask a question: do you deal in crypto? Believe it or not, people are reluctant, even if they're dealing in crypto, they're reluctant to say that they're dealing in crypto. They still feel, since it's not legal, they don't want to say to you that you're dealing in crypto. And when we scan through their bank accounts, we find that a lot of transactions are taking place, and we ask them, where are these credits and debits coming? They say, sir, I am dealing in cryptocurrency. So yes, today there is absolutely no mechanism. It's a free for all. People are losing money. People are investing in crypto. My only request and suggestion to all of you, whoever is dealing in crypto, you need to tell them to be very careful. There's a tendency that you end up losing all your money because it's not still legal in our country. We do not know who's issuing it. So you have to be careful. So don't look at crypto right now.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Hi sir, good morning. So this is a pretty basic question. So there's a 30% tax on crypto, right? Is it on the tax slab or does it come
On
from-
the profit. On the profit you make on trading in crypto.
No, so suppose I don't come under the tax slab, I don't pay tax. So is it only for people who pay tax
Or
or
for everyone. Let us
So
say you're
it's-
dealing in crypto. You have a lakh of rupees profit, 30,000 you have to pay.
so it's like TDS?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thank you sir.
I have a question, sir. My name is Sumant. I'm from One Empire. So everyone was speaking about crypto and it's not legalized yet, but my view is different. So I'm an investor in stock market. So what's the future potential? Also, there is EV disruption coming up in the future. So is there as students, can we invest in good stocks?
Investing in stocks, no doubt it's good, but you need to make your analysis. You need to consult professionals. You need to find out how the companies are doing, and don't blindly invest in companies just because you want to make a fast buck. Because as I said, many companies have been valued artificially. So you need to be very cautious, and if you're an investor, you have to make your research and then make the right kind of investment. But don't look at quick profits. If you look at quick profits, the chance of losing money is very, very high. Higher the risk, higher the reward is what they say. So it's for you to, and the appetite for this differs from each individual. I'm a very cautious guy. You might not be a cautious guy. It all depends on each individual. But yes, if you want to invest in the stock markets, absolutely no problem. But you need to be cautious, make your research, and then make investment in the stock market.
Thank you, sir.
I'm afraid our time has lapsed. That brings us to the end of the question and answer session. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being so participative. Kindly be seated. Check. On behalf of the Old Students Association of St. Joseph's College of Commerce, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and for enlightening us with your knowledge. Thank you, sir, for helping us broaden our area of specialization and also helping us understand what are the possible opportunities for growth with respect to our careers. I'm very sure that our students have so many key takeaways to reflect upon from this session. That brings us to the end of the session. I would like to thank one and all for being a part of this. Thank you for being so participative. Kindly rise as the dignitaries are being escorted out of the auditorium. Students, kindly head to your classes. Thank you.
ನಾನು ಹೊಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ಬಾರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ರಾ Hey,